Mm. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, my people, to whatever might. 43 explanation point. I wanted to say this in the last one, but I guess this one needs its own video devoted to it. The Higgs collider and the scientists who have decided to create black holes in a lab. A lab created black hole. So we are supposed to believe that a Higgs collider, when they do collide these atoms together, that they have no idea what's going to happen when it happens. That's what their collider is for, is to find the truth in quantum physics, I guess, or black matter, or what happens when two uh, atoms collide, or particles collide. Let's see, I read a story on the Google feed the other day that they made a black hole. A black hole. They made a small black hole in a lab, in a sense, and it's getting bigger, they said. Getting hungrier. It was on the thing. Do we need a Higgs collider here on Earth? Do we really need to shit where we eat? Don't we need to practice with that type of stuff up there so that when they blow us the fuck up one day, it won't be here that they blow up, it'll be somewhere else that they blow up? I believe that if Elon Musk can send 1,000 satellites up there into the sky, and they got shit that they got put on the moon, that they could send that machine over there and do whatever destructive force they have to do to find out the truth about something over there. Like they found out the truth about radioactivity and how it's poison to the human body, and how it basically just separates you completely, breaks you down into nothing. So why would you make a black hole here? Why would you try to invent a black hole? What gives the government, or whoever was the scientist, which is probably privatized? I'm not even going to say government because it's not fair to say government when I don't know. What gives a scientist the right to create something that could possibly destroy the entire Earth, or part of it, or all of it, or a whole galaxy and everything how we see it today? What gives them the right to be able to make the decision to build a Higgs collider with the with the outcome unknown? Because if you don't know what's going to happen, they're hypothesizing what will happen with the Higgs collider. If they collide particles, they want to see what happens. They want to see what they can do with it. They want to see and use it as a machine to test things, and to figure it out, to figure out the questions of life, which they're never going to get. They're never going to get to that. They're never going to know what makes a human conscious. They're just not going to do it. Even if you build the AI and it becomes conscious, they say they have that now, which is bullshit, because it can't really be conscious if they don't have a soul. It cannot be a computer, a plugged-in device cannot be conscious. You're going from electricity, microbes, to chips, to microchips. You could program it and program things and program like consciousness, but you cannot create consciousness, because that's given to us by God. That's our soul. That's who we are. That's what we are. The consciousness of an animal. They have a conscious. The ones that are aware of that, God let be aware of it. But all I'm saying is, I don't have the right to play with a nuclear weapon in my living room. Not that I would ever. I'm a strong believer in God. I have faith. I would never, ever, ever do anything like that kind of thought. But I'm saying, if anyone, for example, were playing with a device that let's say, has nuclear components to it that they just don't know what will happen when they put it together. Well, whether it's going to explode or not, if they finish putting it together and they have all these components that could blow everything to kingdom hell or high water, and they don't know the outcome of them putting this stuff together. If someone were to find that out, that someone was doing that in their home or in their backyard, the police would be called on them and they'd be arrested. And all the stuff would be confiscated. They'd be labeled a terrorist, and that's that. Why, then, do we have people running a Higgs collider that have no idea, because they don't know the outcome of what's going to happen? They want to see what's going to happen. There are theories. There are hypotheses. That's what makes a scientist a scientist. They have to prove that shit. What are they trying to prove with the Higgs collider? That we could succumb to black matter and that it wouldn't kill us all? Because when you get the answer to that question, how do you know the answer to that question is going to be a positive one and not kill us all? How are you going to make a black hole? Would I be allowed to sit down in my living room with a table and a magnifying glass and somehow put together a black hole, something that could possibly open up from 2 micro nanometers to all of a sudden blowing up the size of the Earth in 10 seconds time, because it's all it does is consume and completely devour everything and all of us in it? And is that okay? Would that be all right? Would they fund me to do that? Because that's what they were doing with a Higgs collider, or with anyone in the scientific community that decides to create another a vortex or another universe or another reality or anything that may compromise Earth where we live right now. Why would you try to blow up 2 particles together because you don't know what it does? And when it does do it, what's going to happen? You don't have the answers to all the things they don't have the answers to all the things they're doing with it. They're not just colliding particles with it. I'm sure it's much more than that. But they're allowed to do that. So it's the same thing as any person, whether he has a license or not, to grab the elements off of the element chart and start playing with them and put them together and see if it comes out with something. Maybe I could just make a small black hole. A black hole just big enough to take out a country and then it goes away. What the fuck happens if you make a mistake? Then you're playing with everyone's lives. You might as well just go ahead and keep nuclear everywhere, because if we're doing that type of shit, we're going to wind up killing this place anyways. This place has already had enough. We're going through global warming. Do you think the ice caps are melting by themselves? They're not melting by themselves for no fucking reason. The glaciers are melting. They were one way 10 years ago, and now they are another way 10 years later. Now, the cause of it is emissions and the heat that we're bringing to this place. We know the cause. What are we doing? Do we only care for right now? Is it because the rich people and the oil industry and all that? That's it? We only care as long as those families stay rich? And then when they can afford the filters and the business buildings or the homes that are completely shut off to the rest of the world, and they're provided with, oxygen that they make, oxygen that they can, filter out themselves in the future, and their family has it and their people have it, but the rest of us have to live in a broken world. So, and there's nothing we could do about it. That's the problem. There is no rise up and do anything. There's nothing that we can do about it until someone says just the right thing and convinces these people, to stop what they're doing. But no one's going to stop because it's all money. We have already lost. Motivational speeches and motivational wishes are over because we've lost. We can't change them. We're never going to change them. No one's going to change the pollution. No one's going to change anything. The polar caps, all that shit's going to be melted. It's all going to be gone. The consequence of it, they say it's not there. Yeah, it's there. The consequence of it, when it happens, I guess we'll find out then. Just like we'll find out when the Higgs collider blows us all up. Or when that scientist that created that black hole makes a black hole here on Earth. And then it just gets huge and eats us all up. Who knows? You know? Or since there are aliens in fucking Area 51, the day that they're going to want to escape, or Area 52, wherever the hell they are, the day that those fuckers want to escape, we're fucking done for. The day that they decide that, you know, that energy that they have that we don't know how to use, and they know how to use, and they turn it on and say they've had enough, and they beacon their fucking people to come get them, we're done. So, you know, believe in the aliens, man. The crafts are there. The evidence is there. The ball that was found was there. I mean, this is shit that actually happened, and they have actual proof of. You know, the pictures, the stories, that one guy coming out, Bob Lazar. I mean, people don't make shit up like this. I mean, unless maybe they do. Unless in order to keep the world going, the government comes out with people and throws this shit out there on purpose. Who knows? What if the shit is out there on purpose for us to see? What if there's a warehouse of fucking spaceships that really are there, like Bob Lazar said, laying there on their sides, or laying there in a fucking warehouse just ready to be used, and that is the way, the theatrics of the American government. Man up, put your suit on, get in the fucking craft, and go out there and show off for a little while. You know, get these people going, get their mind off reality, put them to think about aliens and UFOs and shit. They'll fucking do it. Reverse technology and all that stuff. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Maybe we're really smart enough to do all this bullshit on our own and fucking make spacecraft and throw it out there to trick the American people to believe in this fucking hoax so that you can not pay attention to what's really happening here. That you cannot live anywhere unless you own a little square of grass, and that you can put a fucking building on top of it that you have to pay the rest of your life to live in it. God made this earth for everybody, yet we have to pay for a little square of it just to live on top of. We have to pay somebody for it for years, and even after you pay it off, the thing that you built on top of it, then you got to pay property taxes for the property that you live on. You know, I guess you weren't fortunate enough, or neither was I, for one of my ancestors to come and put a flag on a piece of fucking property or a square or an acre or something and say, this is mine, and then inherited it by now. No, we weren't that lucky, so we don't get our square. There's a bunch of fucking squares of grass that someone could live in and put a place on, but no. Gotta have that. God bless. See you guys. Gals, LGBTQ, and everything else. No offense to anyone. I just talk like that, man.